Bryant McFadden joining us with his insight, the man in green, and Logan Ryan as well. I come to you in that eagle green first here. This is what you're looking for if you're the Eagles, trying to quell some of that concern. The quarterback looks great. Both wide receivers get fed. The run game still questions, but how good should you feel coming off of this one?
I mean, first and foremost, for the haters out there towards Jalen Hurts, he can do this. It's not like he doesn't have the ability to throw it around the yard. Mind you, he's played against, this was a Brian Flores-led defense that has been known to harass every opposing quarterback in terms of exotic looks in the back end and send in relentless pressure. But what Jalen Hurts did was told all of you haters, calm down, man. I can do this. I can throw it around. And most importantly, he got it to his two high-level wide receivers. A.J. Brown had a beast of a day. 121, 2 receiving touchdowns. Smitty in the neon cleats, 183, 1 touchdown. This is a guy who can deliver the goods when need be. But just their offensive strategy sometimes doesn't call for him to do this. But now when you look at the inability for them to run the football, this is what we might see from Jalen Hurts more than none compared to years past, because the offensive line has been horrendous. Saquon Barkley is looking not like the Saquon we saw last year. You guys know this. Saquon Barkley has yet to have a game where he's rushed for at least 90 yards all year long. His highest rushing total is 88 yards on the ground. So this has been an issue for them the entire season. But luckily today, Jalen Hurts said, when he can't run the football, I can throw it, and I'm willing to do so.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I think happened here, because I've been coached by Brian Flores. I've been in his meeting rooms. This is a game plan that just wasn't executed. I know for sure Brian Flores wants to bring the pressure on the quarterback, take away the run game. So I know the Eagles haven't been running it, but Brian Flores is not going to let you run the ball based on how many numbers in the box. He's going to play one-on-one coverage, and your corner's got to win. And they were seeing the backside of A.J. Brown's jersey and Smitty's jersey all day. The corners did not win. It was aggressive. It was an aggressive game plan that was not executed by the players. If you're going to play like that, you can't let them get behind you. Let them catch in front of you and tackle. So I know what Brian Flores is coming back saying. He's still a great play caller. That's what this was. They're going to take away the run game, make Jalen Hurts beat me. Jalen Hurts beat him today. Hats off to him. I will say on the other side, though, this is a one-score game. You're playing against Carson Wentz who threw you two interceptions. Carson Wentz also sat here and threw for 313 yards. Okay, so I know the Eagles look good. I know they won this game, but there were still concerns to me about the Eagles because defensively, Carson Wentz is a possession away from winning this game with the pick six.
And the pick six, yes.
And the crazy Wentz throw.
That was just a couple of the most egregious overthrows that you see at the professional
level. And I know they're saying on the offensive side, Carson, we can't play like that.
Yeah.
We got to take care of the ball and to execute the game. So that's where I'm at on both sides of it. I think it's a Brian Flores aggressive game plan that Jalen Hurts took advantage of.
Which I absolutely love, because Isaiah Rodgers has been playing well, right? But he was seeing the back of Devontae Smith's jersey, to your point, excellent point, just a bit ago. Meanwhile, Carson Wentz, he can't throw the interceptions. He may be throwing interceptions next week, because we don't know when J.J. McCarthy is ultimately going to be returning from that high ankle sprain. There's been a lot of misunderstanding. I don't want to say misinformation necessarily, but this was supposed to be a 2 or 3 or 4. Now we're getting into 5 and 6 weeks for J.J. McCarthy. I want to go ahead and dispel or quell some of the soft benching talk. Like, if he had been soft benched, I was told that he would have been the second quarterback today. He was the emergency third-string quarterback, so he is still hurt for the Minnesota Vikings. And then lastly, the Philadelphia Eagles, to your point about how they didn't really stop Carson Wentz. Brandon Graham's about to come out of retirement. And Brandon Graham is someone who, he has stayed in shape. He's looking at this. They need edge rush help. He will help them off the edge, but that does not preclude the Philadelphia Eagles from going out and getting another edge rusher on the trade market. So just because Brandon Graham ultimately very likely is coming back doesn't mean they won't still make a move at edge rusher, and they certainly should be making a move at corner.
7 weeks in, and we're starting to get a better idea of who is who and what is what. Those contenders bolstering personnel. The Eagles taking a step in the right direction in this one against the Minnesota Vikings. We already got them down for an INT next week, JJ?
Well, I mean,
he starts
statistically.
Anytime available, courtesy of our friends at FanDuel. I mean, there were fans in the first row who made it onto the box score with targets in this one from Carson Wentz. As for the plus side, Jalen Hurts.
What's up, Vikings Nation? It's Victor here from Report Vikings, and we've got a big one to talk about today. Yeah, I'm talking about Jordan Addison, our young star, our game changer, the guy who's been making plays all over the field, but also the guy whose name is suddenly getting thrown around in trade talks, and not just rumors, real discussions about his future in Minnesota. Let's break this down, because this one's complicated. So here's what's going on. Reports are coming out that AFC contenders, specifically the New England Patriots, have been keeping an eye on Jordan Addison as a possible trade target before the deadline. Now look, Addison's in his third season and he's still on his rookie deal. He's putting up production, he's explosive, he's smooth in his routes, and when he's on, he looks like a legit WR1. Through his first 2 seasons, Addison's put up over 1,600 yards and 13 touchdowns, and that's while playing next to Justin Jefferson, who naturally gets most of the attention. But here's the catch. With Jefferson already getting elite money, the Vikings might not want to hand out another massive contract to a wide receiver anytime soon, and that's where these trade talks start to make some sense, at least financially. Now, let's be honest here. Addison's had his off-field issues. He served a 3-game suspension earlier this year for an alcohol-related offense, and just when he came back, he missed a team meeting in London and got benched to start that game against the Browns. But here's the thing, when he finally got on the field, he made up for it. The kid came up clutch, catching a game-winning touchdown from Carson Wentz in the final minute. That right there is the perfect example of who Addison is. Frustrating sometimes, but absolutely electric when it matters most. Head coach Kevin O'Connell has been very supportive of Addison publicly. He's not giving up on the guy, and honestly, I respect that. You can tell the Vikings know how special this player can be if he matures and locks in. Now, Albert Breer from Sports Illustrated said that the Patriots are looking for a long-term weapon at receiver, someone they can build around, not just a rental. He mentioned Addison and Chris Olave as potential names. But here's the reality. According to KSTP's Darren Wolfson, the Vikings aren't even entertaining trade talks unless someone's willing to start with a first-round pick. That's how highly the organization values Addison. Wolfson even said, and I quote, "Of all the 23 draft picks from the last 4 years, Addison is by far the best one, not even close." That's huge, because it means Kwesi and O'Connell know they've hit on this pick, and they're not letting him go unless it's an offer they can't refuse. Now, let me be real with you guys. I get the frustration when players mess up off the field. I really do. But when you look at what Addison brings to this team, the chemistry he's building with Jefferson, the way he opens up this offense, the big playability, and you can't just replace that overnight. We've seen what happens when Jefferson gets double teamed. Addison is that guy who can make defenses pay. You move on from him and suddenly that whole offensive dynamic changes. And yeah, $30 million a year is a lot, but that's the market now. If you want 2 elite receivers in a pass-heavy league, you've got to pay for it. Personally, I think Addison stays. I think the Vikings ride out this rookie deal, clean up the off-field stuff, and lock him in long-term. Because talent like his doesn't come around often, and if you're serious about contending, you need both Jefferson and Addison on this roster. But hey, that's just my take. I want to know yours. Do you think the Vikings should hold on to Jordan Addison and pay him like a star? Or should they cash in while his value is sky high and grab a first-round pick? Let's talk about it in the comments. And make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to Report Vikings, and share this video with every Vikings fan you know. We've got a big game week ahead, and trust me, I'll be here breaking it all down for you guys. Let's go, Vikings!